You're watching Mental Health with Marcie, and I'm Marcie. In today's video, we're going to talk about why med changes are the literal worst. And if you've ever been on mental health medication or changed a mental health medication, I'm sure you agree because it's just the worst. Just the worst. It is. And I'm sure if you have experienced those things, you can empathize. If you haven't, oh, you're in for a treat today. Because you know what's super fun when you're experiencing mental health conditions? Let's add a bunch of side effects and make it worse. Because that's what mental health meds do, in my experience. Of course, everyone has different experiences. Maybe you don't have any side effects when you start a new med. Great. That's great to be you. Doesn't usually happen for the rest of us, but I'm jealous. I sure am. Because the worst part of starting a new medication is just you don't know what to expect. And so that can be, again, different side effects. But then also, you don't know if it's going to work because, unfortunately, that's just the case with mental health meds. It's just trial and error. And what works for one person may not work for someone else. Everyone responds differently to different mental health meds, and it's just, you gotta try it and see. And so, you're going into it with the possibility of a ton of side effects, and then also you have no guarantee it's gonna work. And so it's just a really frustrating process because you want, of course, like a one and done, okay, well, this is my problem, here's my answer, and yet that's not the case. And it's even more frustrating because obviously you're getting on these meds for a reason and because you're experiencing some sort of mental distress. And so just to kind of add this added distress and stress on top of that is just the worst. And so it's why I found it's just so discouraging to even try different medications or even try it in the first place, because that mental health med journey is a long one and one I'm still on. And also what's super fun is it can work for you for a long time and then stop working out of nowhere for no reason, because why not? And so it's just a really inefficient process, I think, for treating mental health conditions. There's no easy way to just say, okay, well, just take this and it'll work fine forever. And it can be really frustrating to go on and off that med roller coaster, because it sure is a wild ride. And that's not even to talk about the experience of transitioning from one med to another, because guess what? There's side effects of starting a med, and there's more of stopping one. Super fun. And so you'll get those withdrawal side effects potentially. And so when you're trying to switch a med, then you're having to taper off to go down to a lower dose. And so you've got withdrawal side effects, you've got new side effects from a new med. And it's like, I thought I was trying to feel better and not make myself feel doubly worse. And so this is not to discourage anyone from exploring mental health meds, just to complain about how the whole process sucks. So yeah, I have found that they are helpful when they work. It's just when they don't work, it sucks. And it just sucks, the trial and error game, just kind of starting and stopping them, and then you have to taper off, and then you have to experience potentially, nausea, insomnia, lightheadedness, dizziness, whatever the side effects are for that medicine. And so when you're just in it, you're obviously at a bad point if you're changing a med or starting a med. And so again, just adding that extra really just honestly just painful part to your life just seems unnecessary. But of course, if they made these meds with no side effects, then they either wouldn't work, I guess, or we just haven't gotten there in terms of science. So that would be great if we could just make some meds that work the first time, and you don't have to try 1,000 and then wait forever to see if they're going to work. that would be great. So if you're out there and know how to science, work on that. So obviously I'm not of that variety because I just use the word to science as a verb, which is fine. So if you are out there struggling with trying to figure out what medicine works for you, you are definitely not alone. I believe there's a lot of us out there, and it's not your fault. I've just really been frustrated with the whole process, but I know something will work and things have worked in the past, so it's just trying to keep that confidence and hope alive that something will work at some point and we can try different things. It's just, again, super annoying to try 1,000 things that don't work. So, yes, that's why mental health meds and changing them is the literal worst. And if you've ever experienced this, again, I'm sure you can sympathize and empathize, because just know that's why I've held off forever not wanting to change, because I didn't want to go through this. And so I hope that you guys can have a little bit of hope out there, and we're gonna get through this somehow, and we'll get our meds figured out, hopefully. But thank you so much for watching, and stay well, my friends.